Let's get it. Let's start off. We doing the NFC East and the AFC East. So let's go ahead and start off with the AFC East.
All right, we want to start with we go. How we gonna do it? We're gonna start with the first place finisher, last place finisher. What we gonna do?
We can keep it how we normally do. We start from last place to first, right?
All right, yep, I'm with that.
All right, let's get to it.
New England Patriots.
Let's go.
All right, so of course they brought in Drake May, they brought in KJ Osborne, they signed Jacoby Brissett as a bridge quarterback, and then they drafted some wide receivers in Jalen Polk and Javon Baker, who could probably play big roles. They also lost Trent Brown. They they traded Mac Jones, I think, for a fifth round pick, and no separation. Devontae Parker, he gone too. Yeah, and so what are your thoughts on some of the wait? Where did we say he was gonna go from there? My bad.
Well, we'll see. We really didn't really discuss that part, but we were doing the 60 segment. So I'll do the next thing. I'll do the next thing, if that's okay. We good on that one. We still staying here. So what excites you about this team?
I believe.
Before you go, let's answer this before we move on. Y'all gonna do East skill position, Chad? What you think so?
We could do that.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we can work on that.
Yeah, let's go. All right, my fault. What excites you about the Patriots?
The potential for this offense to actually look a lot better than it did. Because, like I said, you bring in Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. Drake May, I'm not saying Drake May is going to light up the world, but he has that gunslinger mentality where he could push the ball down the field to some of these dudes, and it can really change what this offense looks like if they can protect Drake May, or if they can, call an offense to work around some of the deficiencies on the offensive line. And so to me, I think it's smart to kind of start with Jacoby Brissett, just to kind of see what you have and to see if he can just keep you buoyed. But if it starts to falter, I think you could just bring in Drake May and just let him just take his lumps. And I think it would look pretty exciting offensively. And they have the defense to keep them in games.
That's what excites me. I think that the fact that they're moving more towards a more modernized type of team. Let me say that.
Right.
It was time for a change of scenery for, let's say, for a Belichick, and the moving on to a Gerard Mayo and some things. But getting into Alex Van Pelt, I know he never called plays, but he come from a tree that has success.
Right.
So if the running game can be the foundation with a Ramondre Stevenson, the versatility that he has as a running back could be having a big year from him. And if he can have some success, then his offense can at least be a competent offense. You know what I'm saying? We're not asking for this team to be, lights out and, lighting up the scoreboard. But if they can just be a competent offense, then that does excite me of that aspect. And then, like I said, I am a fan. Oh, no, we got, hold on, let me see. Oh, yeah. I am a fan of Jalen Polk, and I am a fan of Javon Baker. I do believe that they can definitely grow together and become a dynamic duo.
Absolutely.
Of some sort. You know what I'm saying? But give us some time. This year, it may not happen, but but get into KJ Osborne to come settle the room. You still have other wide receivers. That was
Jacoby Myers, right?
Nah, he and
no. Who is it?
Raiders. It's a veteran too. They got rid of him, but it's another veteran.
It's a veteran because it was they shopped him in when they was trying to do the Ayuk trade.
Yep.
I can't remember his name, but we'll figure it out. Yeah. Fuck it. What's next?
Oh yeah.
Or were you finished? My fault.
I was finished. The biggest concerns though. I mean, everything. Because like I said, they're not ready yet. Matter of fact, that's easy. It's low-hanging fruit. The offensive line is my biggest concern. Offensive line was ass last year, and then what did they really do to make this better?
Yep.
That was the thing. It's like, okay, maybe the offensive scheme could help mitigate some of those woes, which is normally from the tree that Van Pelt came from. It normally helps that. So that could be In addition, just off the strength, just a scheme change alone could help. So my biggest concern is his offensive line because, if, like I said, you mess around, you get Kobe killed, you throw Drake May out there, and then like, oh my God, you mess him up for the rest of his career. We've seen this happen. So
Right.
yeah, my biggest concern is offensive line.
Right. And so that is my biggest concern. But I'll kind of, what I'll do to kind of reinvent that, I'll kind of just take what you said about the scheme. And as if Alex Van Pelt,
Mm-hmm.
what can he do to mitigate your biggest weakness? Because it's your biggest weakness. What can you do to make sure that doesn't, cripple you? Because we've seen teams, work around terrible offensive line. Shit, the San Francisco 49ers don't have a great offensive line. They just have a great player.
Yes.
And they have a great player on the offensive line that they kind of do everything around, just say, hey, it helps them say, like, okay, you do this, you be great, and we'll help out with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
What can you do, to help your offensive line to make everybody else's job easier? So that's my biggest concern with them. So
But
Alex Van Pelt.
and at the same time, those wide receivers are still the biggest concern because um what if they don't click? Matter of fact, let's use the example of the Packers, how they went out there with those young wide receivers last year. Everybody loves them now, but they had moments where they was,
Yeah, it took a minute
it
for
took them a
sure.
while to really get, ingratiated with the NFL. And like I said, it may be depending on, them to, hit the ground running because obviously they're fishing for a number one wide receiver. Bad. We've seen what they've offered Brandon Ayuk. We've seen what they've done already. So, I mean, for trying to go get other wide receivers. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. But what I will say is one thing that kind of gives me Kendrick Bourne. That's his name. That's the other wide receiver. It's Kendrick Bourne. That's the other wide receiver. But
Kendrick Bourne. Yeah, that's him.
yeah, and so what's going on? And so what the thing that I get what you're saying on the wide receivers. They're young and very similar to the Packers. It just kind of it's like it may take them a while, but what I will say is I was very high on Javon Baker. I thought he could have went higher than where he went. And then Jalen Polk, he also has some, versatility, some big playability. And so I think that will kind of help both of them, their big playability will kind of help them ease in where it's not just you have to be super nuanced in your route tree where they can go up and win those, 50-50 balls and, they can stretch the field deep. And that's one of the reasons why I said they may be a really good fit if and when Drake May sees the field, because they'll be able to kind of, stretch the field a little bit. You still got KJ Osborne who can stretch the field, and then you got Pop Douglas out there and Kendrick Bourne who can, man the middle of the field as well. So, I think they have that. And I think I'll get to one
Keep
of
going.
those play.
What does success look like for the New England Patriots?
Competence,
That
competence on offense, just look like something on offense. And I think your defense is going to, you may not have the Bill Belichick defense of last year where it's just like whoever you put in there is going to look good. But, you're getting Christian Gonzalez back. And,
mhm.
in that time that he played, he looked like he was going to be something. And so I think that secondary is going to be really good. Keon White, I really do like what they have in Keon White. There, we'll see what happens with Matt Judon, but it's like you might want to get that done. So I think the defense is going to be able to, make this team pesky. They're going to be annoying.
And that's exactly, I feel the exact same way. Be competitively trash.
Right.
Like be a tough out. Be a hey, we know y'all gonna lose. Make them beat you. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? You know what success look like, and it's going to sound disrespectful. I understand, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. The Cardinals last year.
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals last year was giving teams hell.
Hell,
You know,
be a tough out. Just be a tough out and show that, like I said, just show that the moves that you've been making, have
our
some
building blocks. Our
are
building blocks.
building blocks. Nobody's saying you have to be a playoff team, but just show some competence right now.
That's all we asking for. So it's funny. We should have thought this out, but now I got to get the offseason recap for the New York Jets. It was the number 3 seed, and in the AFC East. Their recap is pretty much plain and simple. They had a competent draft. They made the moves that they needed to make in the moves, and they didn't do a sexy move by go getting a Brock Bowers in the draft. They went and got Olu. Come on, please help me.
Fashanu.
Washington, thank you. I'm about to butcher that thing. But the boy from Penn State. Also by going to get a Tyron Smith, going to get a Morgan, and to try to solidify the offensive line, which they had issues with last year, no matter who was at quarterback.
Right.
Obviously Aaron Rodgers will be returning. Hopefully he can stay healthy, but they went and got Mike Williams as well. They went and made some things happen on paper that should give you that same excitement that you had last season as far as the Jets. Was I good with the recap?
Yep. All I'm gonna say is they did let Bryce Huff and John Franklin Myers go and brought in Hassan Reddick. Kinda. Kinda. Maybe.
Can I
Possibly.
can I go ahead and take that as my biggest concern?
Yes.
Like my biggest concern, we can just go ahead and get to it before we get positive. Bro, y'all knew he didn't want to be there. Or let's say you knew he was seeking
A new
a new
contract.
contract before you traded for him. It should not have lasted this long. If you did not plan on giving the contract that he was seeking for, it should not have lasted this long. Now I'm of the mindset, how I GM. I have a conversation with you. Do you want to be here or not? Can it be rectified? Once we realize that it can't be, bye bye. You know what I'm saying? That's how I operate. So I would be getting ready to move. I think this is another distraction that they do not
Not
need, bro.
me.
Right? Like,
Absolutely.
and everybody's always going to. I personally, the low hanging fruit is me mentioning the distraction that Aaron Rodgers has already given you this offseason, or the things that he's going to continue or potentially give you. That's the low hanging fruit from Hill. Everybody know I hate Aaron Rodgers, so I'm not even going to take it there. I get it. That's we got to move on. But it's like, damn, bro, like, can we figure out something? That's my biggest concern.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I understand, like that's a giant concern, to be quite honest, because again, this is a team that, you know, to kind of have some of the expectations that you have, because you don't bring in Aaron Rodgers just to be competitive. You don't bring in Aaron Rodgers and do the things and moves that they made just to kind of get to the playoffs. No, you brought in Aaron Rodgers as a go for it move. And that defense is a big part of that. The pressure that they could do is a big part of that. And if Hassan Reddick is not there, it makes it even look even worse, because you could have just kept Bryce Huff. You could have just paid him.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, again, you knew that Hassan Reddick wanted a new contract. That's like going to get Brandon Ayuk and just trying to give him a new contract when he get there, and then offering him, $22 million. Like, nah, player, that ain't even what I was asking them for. Why would I come here for that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, hey, nah, like, you should have had that worked out, or you should have had a better plan. But yeah, I'm of the mindset. I understand you brought in Mike Williams, but it's a big, it's that's a kind of move where it's like, is he go? How long is he going to be able to be there for you and help you? And who knows?
Tyron Smith, how long is he going to last? At
But
least you did the smart thing by drafting Olu Fashanu.
That's what I was about to get to. At least with Tyron Smith, it wasn't just Tyron Smith and then drafting Olu Fashanu either. It's also Morgan Moses.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, now it's you have your bookends if necessary, and you have a high upside swing tackle in Olu Fashanu where you can ease him in. Or if he looks ready, you can start him and bring someone off the bench. You know what I mean? And so I think that's why I was saying a little bit different than Mike Williams, because if Mike Williams goes down, I mean, you still have Garrett Wilson, but it's going to look a lot different when, all right, we're just going to tilt the field to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, but it's like it stopped from if Mike Williams goes down, it looks like last year, Garrett Wilson in them. And
Exactly. And my thing is, if it's Garrett Wilson in them and they tilt the field, that's going to put a lot more strain on your offensive line to really, block things up and allow guys to get open. Oh
but
no,
what
what I
it's
did.
I don't know, but what excites me for this team, the low hanging fruit is definitely the defense, but I'm not gonna go there. We'll go with the running game. Yo, did you see Braylon Allen?
We
In
talk we talk entirely too much.
I
This
didn't,
this Braylon Allen did not look like the Braylon Allen you saw at Wisconsin.
but it's not
It
even this.
looked like it looked like he was shifty. He was able to move. It wasn't look like he didn't look like Ben Jarvis Green Ellis.
But he looked good, and that's the
Yeah.
fact that him looking good really don't even matter. Like it, I mean, it not say it doesn't even matter. Like you have Brees Hall, now you have a healthy, a year removed from his ACL injury, Brees Hall, like you said, who was looking okay last year behind that terrible offensive line. So now you pair them, like this running game is going to be something that they can actually, excuse me, that they can actually lean on. And if Aaron Rodgers has a running game,
Mm-hmm.
like you're going to see the excitement from the Aaron Rodgers that everybody loves to see. It's like, okay, we know that Garrett Wilson is one of them ones. He just hasn't had a quarterback to actually display himself, like the show, like to actually put him in those conversations, you know, convincingly. But with this running game being formidable, it allows Aaron Rodgers to just go ahead. All right, boom, it's 3rd and 4. I can check into this play. Boom, Garrett Wilson right up top. Garrett Wilson up cross route. Garrett Wilson here. Like I can pinpoint how, and I know y'all can't stop him 1-on-1 because y'all got to check for this run. So that's what excites me for this team.
Yeah. What excites me for this team is this this defensive front. I know we're still out, like we still don't know about Hassan Reddick, but I do believe that eventually he's going to show up because that's going to get expensive.
Yeah,
And so for me, I think he's going to show up. And I think Jermaine Johnson, Quentin Williams, and Hassan Reddick, that can cause hell. And I
that,
think, and then I think pairing that up with, I think if having Javon Kinlaw on, the number 4 guy there, kind of with, along with Will McDonald and stuff like that. I think Will McDonald and Javon Kinlaw might be able to elevate their game by who they have surrounding them. And if that happens, that can be very, very dangerous. And I'm excited to see the hell that they can cause. And then again, like you say, you got Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed back there to kind of
mhm.
lock things down. So it's going to allow it's either get the ball out early and you got a guy in your receiver's hip pocket, or hold the ball and you're going to be under some pressure. So I think that that defensive front can really cause some hell.
Yeah, they definitely got. Yeah, but this is the one though. What does success look like for the Jets?
Success is Malachi Corley being an explosive player over the middle of the field to kind of take that pressure off of your offense of having to keep Mike Williams. If you can develop Malachi Corley and make him a big part of this offense, I think it takes a lot of pressure off of what you need from Mike Williams and gives you an explosive secondary option in the passing game. And then, like you said, you got Brees Hall, you got Braylon Allen, you got Garrett Wilson, and then regardless of what happens with that offensive line, we know Aaron Rodgers is going to try and get the ball out early. So having an explosive piece that you can get the ball out early to is going to help.
Let me know if this is low hanging fruit or not. Getting to the playoffs and having somebody scared to play you.
No, I can understand that because you don't want it to seem like, all right, you come in as a wild card, but again, we know you're like we know your Achilles heel, no pun intended, is let's just put pressure on you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put pressure on you and bracket Garrett Wilson. And there's nothing you can do because we're just gonna stop the run game on the way to the quarterback.
This is my example that I want to give. The Bucks, the Bucks last Tom Brady's last year
Yeah.
when they got to the playoff, and the only thing, of course, they was playing the Cowboys, but the only thing that they could hold their hat on is we got Brady.
That's Tom Brady, yeah.
We got Brady, right? And okay, you can't dismiss it, but okay, the result is helping my point here. But once we got into the game, you realize, okay, man, the Bucks really wasn't that good. Like, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? So what I don't want it to be is the Jets get to the playoffs and then next thing you know it, they just get their ass whipped. Like once
Right.
again,
What what I what
but I'm not putting these Super Bowl aspirations on them, even
oh yeah,
though
absolutely not.
you didn't bring Aaron Rodgers in here just to go to the playoffs.
Exactly. What I will say is I think that the defense will allow them to go into the playoffs and still have people like, whew, we got our hands full.
Okay. Okay now. All right, man.
Okay.
So who won the division last year?
We skipped one.
How?
Miami
That's
Dolphins.
what no, I was really asking who won the division. I thought it was between them two.
Oh yeah, no, the Bills won it.
Okay, that's why. No, it was a legit question. I didn't know who was
Oh,
next.
my fault, my fault.
Yeah. So yeah,
Hold
Dolphins.
on,
That's
wait.
good too.
Did the Bills? Yeah, because the Dolphins tricked it off at the end of the season.
Yeah, because matter of fact, the Dolphins had to go to the Kansas City play.
Yeah, the Dolphins tricked it off at the end of the season. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
So
all
yeah,
right. I was on the right. I was on the right path.
you was on the right path. You was on the right path. So yes, sir.
All right.
You,
So
yeah.
the Miami Dolphins
Mm-hmm.
brought in Jordan Brooks, brought in Jordan Poyer, brought in Jonnu Smith, brought in Odell Beckham Jr., and they got a nice edge piece in Chop Robinson. But they also lost a big piece in Andrew Van Ginkles, Xavier Howard. He been wilding all offseason, damn near last 3 years.
Yeah.
They lost Robert Hunt, which is you can't really lose a whole bunch of offensive linemen when you ain't got none.
Yeah.
Lost Jerome Baker, and woo, they lost Christian Wilkins too
On purpose, man.
on purpose because they were in a tough cap position.
Oh, I wonder. Yeah. That was the part that I wanted to mention. Like I said, they tried to make it seem like they made all of these moves because of their cap situation, but all the people that you named that they let go, they replaced, and other than Christian Wilkins. And like I said, you just
But
can't
I was
just
gonna say, yeah,
you can't just 1-to-1 replace him unless you would have went to the draft and would have drafted somebody with the upside of potential that they did. But they didn't. I mean, they brought in Neville Gallimore. Okay, in a different scheme, maybe he can, what I'm saying, can show
they brought
some
in Zach. What's his name? Zach Sealer, right? They brought him
from they
into
got him from
Atlanta.
where.
I mean Baltimore.
But yeah, so okay, somebody that's familiar with the scheme, coming from Baltimore with Anthony Weaver. Am I correct? Off the fly, yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you know, they ain't Christian Wilkins. Let's just go
Yeah.
ahead and just get that
Right.
out of the way. But can they be something?
Yeah.
Let's see. Bradley Chubb coming off an injury.
You got the biggest man in the NFL, Calais Campbell.
They got him back. So it's like, okay, this defense, we know what this defense has to do. The
Right.
defense just has to be, the offense is going to help this defense. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So, the defense is going to be definitely playing one dimensional. They're going to be defending one thing at most of the time. So, just got to be a competent defense, bend but don't break, and you know how that go. Let's go. What excites you for this team?
Man,
Or did you want me to go first?
go first because I want to see what you're gonna say because I have an idea.
What year is this for Mike McDonald?
3?
It's year 3, right?
Yeah, I think it's year 3.
His first year, what happened? Tua was hurt a lot, right?
Yep.
Second year, Tua had a full season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at his numbers, he put up great
Yeah,
numbers, but he
absolutely.
has that stain on his national resume. Everybody is just they waiting for a thought game, and then he's the Achilles. He's holding them back, right? I'm
Yes.
excited. I'm excited for Tua this season again. Another year 3 in this system. another year healthy in this system, some things that he can expand on in this system. I'm excited. I think that excites me for this system. And he got paid. He ain't out there timid. He ain't gonna be out there timid like, oh, I maybe I, I don't, we don't. First of all, we don't
Show
want him to get
me
hit.
the money.
We always every time he get hit, we're gonna be a little, be a little wary anyway because of his injury history. But he can go out there and play free. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
I think, like I say, some of the things that maybe Mike Daniels,
Yeah, Mike McDaniels. Yeah.
with the same things that he didn't do. Maybe he was holding some things back, or not even holding some things back. Maybe it's some things that now he can expand on. You know what I'm saying? Every year, you just can't continue just doing the same exact plays,
Right.
same exact things. And like the teams are gonna catch up with you. I don't care who you got out there. So I think it's the things that he can expand on. And if Devin A. can just stay healthy, if
Hold
he
on.
can stay
Wait,
healthy,
wait, wait.
that's your fault. That's my fault. My fault. Go ahead.
Before you get there,
Huh?
because what excites me most about this team
It's the run game.
is the addition of Jalen Wright to this run game.
Mm,
Because if we talk about, Raheem Mostert got to stay healthy. Okay, well, he ain't got to carry a whole bunch of times. And if he does get hurt, you got Devin A. who runs a 4.2. Oh, well, guess what? If he can't stay healthy, you got Jalen Wright who can
yeah,
run a 4.2. So
yeah,
to me, the addition of always having that fast, body in the backfield as well. And then you can also interchange them and have two of them on the field, line somebody up in the slot, run motion, run all types of, misdirection because you got Jalen Waddle, you got Tyreek Hill, you got Devin A. and Jalen Wright on the field or
yeah.
something like that. This can get scary.
And you can't stack the box.
You cannot stack the box. So this can get scary. And then, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to see what you was going to say first. But
Yeah,
that's, to me, I think that adds such a deeper bag to this team that is an underrated move that they made, bringing in Jalen Wright with that pick.
as you can see, the theme that we try to continue to do is like we're not going to continue to try to take the low hanging fruit. But I'm going to give myself an olive branch. I believe I had to take the low hanging fruit right there when it comes to Tua. But when it comes to Tua, like I'm not about to be an apologist, but like he gets a lot of negativity
Right.
like thrown his way. It's like okay, it was warranted. Like bro, you hurt. Like we was literally worried about your career at one point. So I get the concern. Okay, boom, you had one full season that you stayed healthy. You played full 17 games, and you did your thing. Okay,
Do it
another
again.
one. Yeah, you
Right.
know what I'm saying.
Can I throw in a bonus one here
Yeah,
when
what's
it
up?
comes to staying healthy? I'm excited to see if Odell Beckham can stay healthy in this system because he had his moments in Baltimore, yo.
Yeah, yes, he
He
did.
had his moments in Baltimore. And, just think about the pieces that was around him in Baltimore. If he can stay healthy in this system with what they got around him, like I said, this could get spooky.
Because the expectations are definitely low when it
Yeah.
comes to him. But then, like you say, when you look at it, you're like, hold on, we might have to start respecting him way more than what we thought it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. We no, we didn't do it. But the biggest concern, I'm gonna let you go first because I think I kind of know where you're going.
My biggest concern is Teron Armstead.
I knew it. That's why I said I knew that's
Yeah.
where you was going.
Toronto, because in I alluded to it earlier on purpose. The San Francisco 49ers do
Yeah.
not have a great offensive line. They
No.
have a great player,
Yes.
and then it allows them to open up everything else because they know we ain't got to help him, you know. And Teron Armstead, when he is healthy,
Yeah.
is a really, really, really great offensive tackle. But the when healthy part is the issue. If Teron Armstead can stay healthy,
Yeah.
this could change the entire outlook for the entire offensive line.
You know, they did get Patrick Paul though, who was a developmental prospect.
Yep.
So that could who knows developmental prospects. They are developmental prospects for a reason. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they
Sometimes they
need
do
time to
not
develop it.
development.
Yeah, so that's definitely a concern. My concern is these injuries that they suffer. You
Yeah,
suffer the injuries of Bradley Chubb. You suffer the injuries to Jalen Phillips. It's like, okay, hey, we're gonna need y'all. Like they gonna need them to be themselves too. Like I get it, you may recover in time to play, but are you gonna be able to recover in time to get back to your performance?
right.
And they need them, you know, to perform at a level that that's going to continue to keep them atop this division. Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
I mean, they drafted Chop Robinson
Yeah.
once again. That's a developmental pass rush prospect.
Yeah.
At the same time, if this offense is clicking like it's supposed to, this should lean into Chop's strengths. Is that he should just be pinning his ears back most of the time.
Because they're gonna be
And
playing with a lead, or
yeah,
teams know they got to score quick.
it ain't too much thinking of oh man, I got to spin the run, I got to set the edge, I got to do that. Nah, put my ears back, go do what I do. And he has the athleticism to do that. So could help. So that was a good pickup for them right there. Once you think about the things that they lost with Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb, and like saying how they can ease them back in and let them get back to what. But I am concerned of that pass rush, like you said,
Yeah, 100%.
especially Christian Wilkins. Like,
Yeah. So we'll see.
what does success look like?
To me, success is this offense being able to travel late in the season.
Mm,
If this off, like I said, you got tons of speed, you can cause a lot of problems. But will this offense be able to travel late in the season when you start playing those good teams and in those games that really have consequence? So if this offense could travel in those games, it's going to be a good year for them.
I'm not even gonna cap, bro. I'm just gonna say exactly what you just said, bro. Because it hit. Because like you said, and can you adapt your offense
Right.
to okay, it's cold today. Can we actually run a power running game and milk some of this clock? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or like I said, it's cold. Can we actually lean on this running game? Like I said, a finesse running game don't help nothing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Even if it get when it get cold, we got a nice running game. But if you a finesse running game, that ain't nothing. Cold weather and bad weather, or good teams, they can mitigate all that. And then what? Then what? Then what?
Exactly.
What are you gonna be able to do? Like you say, it's get it. It's cool. You can run off the script. Script nice.
Yeah.
What happened when we punch you in the mouth? You know what I'm saying? Can you really adjust it? Can you really handle
Can you handle it?
it?
If I could.
So it's my turn, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, we got them Buffalo Bills and somebody else that had cap concerns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let Stephon Diggs go, Jordan Poyer go, Micah Hyde go, Leonard Floyd go, Tre'Davious White go, Dane Jackson go, Gabe Davis go, Mitch Morse go. I mean, man,
Dang.
did they got a team? You know,
Sheesh.
you
That's
know,
when Madden just start putting players on your team. You be like, damn, who is that?
you
Why
know,
y'all reorder my depth chart?
and they went and got Curtis Samuel to help out. They got Mac Hollins, still got Khalif Shakur was trying to ascend. We ain't got Connor McGovern. Drafted our guy Keon Coleman. The offseason on paper looked like a step back. It looks like it doesn't look like a rebuild because they didn't fully embrace a rebuild. This looks like a retool.
Right.
It looks like a retool season. And teams have that. Certain they went all in. And people they went all in a couple seasons back to back. And the repercussions of going all in, sometimes you just gotta reset. You know what I'm saying? Resetting and retooling is not the same thing as rebuilding. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Certain things that just didn't hit. Like it was time to move on from certain people, certain players, in certain certain situations. It was time to move. Okay, this didn't work. Okay, it's time to move on. It's like okay, instead of we can't just keep piling on the same situation. I'm sorry, I took too long on the off season recap. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
What excites you about this team?
What excites me is can this like it's gonna be an oxymoron. What excites me on this about this team is can this team be boring? Can this team play boring football? Listen, because
I know exactly what you mean.
James Cook took a step and they were able to lean on the run game a lot last year. You bring in Ray Davis,
Yeah.
and so now you compare James Cook and Ray Davis. Can you be boring and really stick to the run game and really take some of that pressure off of your receiving core that were once so heavily relied on, and now you're asking to honestly have Keon Coleman be your true number one receiver who is a rookie. And
Hmm.
so can you play boring offense and line up, in 12 personnel, use Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox, lean on teams, run the ball, play action over the middle to some of your tight ends, and really grind out those yards? Can you do that? And so that's what excites me to see if they can change it or if they're kind of going to get so excited, hey, Josh, go be Josh type thing.
And that's what excites me is I think they learned from last year when they had to go on that run when everybody was down, when everybody was like, "Oh man, Josh Allen's a turnover machine," and this and that, and it was looking bad. Like I said, we had a whole factor cap where they missed the playoffs. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying at that point, and they went on a run. They beat some good teams on that run, but like I said, they changed their stripes. They went more to a more run oriented offense, and they started leaning on other things. And then they allowed that the less that they add from Josh, they actually got more from Josh. Some of those exciting plays came at the right time, and he started running and started doing some things and started putting the team when it looked like he was putting the team on his back. It
Yep.
came at the time like, okay, hey Josh, be elite. So it's like if he can understand when to do those moments, this team can still be the Bills that you think that the Bills are. You know what I'm saying? But if he has to understand those moments when they need him to be Superman. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes this team could just, hey, bro, we need Clark. We need
Yeah.
Clark. Now, hey, we need a Superman to go out there and not in the moment. You just throw a pick, just throw a pick. And it's like, bro, we didn't need that, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Like you got to be smart.
but I'm excited for them. The fact that like I think he's going to be free. I think he has I'm not really on go deep on the relationship between him and Diggs and all that. Like
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit overblown anyway. But I mean, hey, he has a reputation and he ain't gonna get over that reputation until either he win or he retired. So it is what it is. Even bro, they had him talking on that's not the division.
Yeah.
But
We'll get there.
yeah. But I'm excited. But at the same time, he concerns me. like, like he's led the league in turnovers before, multiple
Mm-hmm.
times. He led the league in interceptions before, multiple times. Like it could be a situation where he could be pressing. He could be like, nah, this they need me. Like you know what I'm saying. He
Yep.
could go out there and then like they don't really have the coach on that sideline to just reel him in. This is a personal. Josh Allen has to come through he has to recognize this. You know what I'm saying? Because if
Right.
that was the case, they been would have fixed this issue. You know what I'm saying? If they had the coaches on the sideline to do that. You know what I'm saying? I think he's the gift and the curse. You know what I'm saying? But that's what makes him elite because his gift, it be gifted.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. My biggest concern, it's the left hand washes the right and both hands washes the face. It's it's the it's the it's the defensive line
Mm.
because you lose Leonard Floyd, who
Mm.
led your team in sacks. Yes, you still have Ed Oliver, but now if you're expecting Ed Oliver to be, your number one pass rusher. Who's going to be your secondary pass rusher? Is it going to be AJ Epinesa? Is it going to be Gregory Rousseau? You know what I mean? It, so and so and so and so that concerns me because of the secondary that you have playing behind them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Jordan Poyer, he gone.
Mm-hmm.
Micah Hyde, he gone. You know what I'm saying? And you did bring in Rasul Douglas. You
Yeah.
still got Teron Johnson, but what is it going to look like if they can't get pressure?
Yeah.
And I
Matt
didn't.
Milano.
I was about to say I don't know if that was going to be the low hanging fruit, but that's a big concern to me. If Matt Milano has an actual torn bicep and is out for the season or a significant amount of the season, is it anything that you can overcome? So maybe I should just say this defense as a whole.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, it might be just this defense as a whole
Yeah.
and how they're going to maintain that high level because Sean McDermott, you are a defensive coach. If defense goes bad, you can't talk about 9-11 2 years in a row.
Nah, that ain't gonna work, my dog.
Yeah, so I guess I might just have to just say this defense.
This is the weird one.
Yeah, this is a weird one.
What does success look like? And once again, we do understand that the low hanging fruit, they got to get to the AFC Championship.
You know what?
Get over that hump, you know. But yeah,
I'm gonna just do it because it's my guy and I want to see him succeed. Can Keon Coleman be a true number one to day one in the NFL? Can he be a true number one at day one in the NFL? If he can and come in and replace Stephon Diggs as the true number one and be a 6'3" big body to allow Josh Allen to have that outlet to go along with that boring aspect, that running game part that I spoke about earlier, offensively, they may be able to buoy this defense. And that should lead to them to, some semblance of success because you have that number one and you still have Khalil Shakur and Curtis Samuel, KJ Hamler, all of that. You can start to push people down a notch, and then like I said, you have your number one, and then you got them tight ends too.
you know what thing when the Bengals beat them in the playoff, one of the stupidest comments one of the players made was, "Y'all lucky it wasn't snowing." Or the weather played.
We was lucky. We was lucky that it was snowing.
Mind you, y'all was playing at home.
Exactly.
So this team over the years wasn't built for playing at home in the elements of Buffalo.
Their biggest home field advantage.
Yes. Now, what success looks like? Letting the home field advantage be a home field advantage. Like you're actually, if everything goes positive, everything goes right, this defense figures it out. The offense is leaning on the run game, and Josh Allen is having those moments. Then they are actually built for you to come into Buffalo. You're gonna have a time because this team can actually run the ball physically and do their thing. And like you said, nobody want to tackle in the cold. Nobody want to go to Mexico. Nobody want to go to jail.
Nobody want to go to jail in Mexico.
So that's what success looks like to me. Like if the home field advantage can in the playoffs or in January can actually be an home field advantage.